Hello there and welcome back to another video, and it is going to be the Brighton versus Liverpool preview, with Liverpool looking to bounce back after the midweek defeat that we had against Atalanta, and we're going to hopefully look to bounce back in some style as well. We're going to have some players back as well, some other additions coming back into the squad as well. Might mean that we can maybe field a couple of different players than we did in the Champions League, and maybe go back to having the former, the full strength, or almost as full strength as you can get without Gomez and Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think Liverpool are going to line up in this game? Who's going to be starting? Where are we going to be starting? What sort of formation are we looking at? Hey, feel free to let me know any of all of these things if you can. And what do you think the result is going to be for Liverpool at the end of this one as well? And we're going to be coming up against Brighton, and they got a brilliant result out last time out in the Premier League. They were playing Aston Villa. They went down to 10 men at some point as well. Tariq Lamptey, I think his name is, got sent off, I think, for 2 yellows, 2 quick yellow cards as well. But they managed to grind out a 2-1 victory against Aston Villa. And Villa are no mean feat. They're a very good team this season. Obviously, as we well know, being on the end of a 7-2 from those guys. But Brighton did really, really well. Up until that game, though, they had a draw against Burnley. They lost against Tottenham, which is nothing to be ashamed of, because Tottenham are one of the top teams this season. Definitely one of the teams to beat. They drew against West Brom. They drew against Crystal Palace. They lost 4-2 against Everton. Their last victory was actually in the Premier League. It was actually against Newcastle. And a common theme that I keep sort of seeing here over some of these fixtures is that against Newcastle on the 20th of September, they got a red card. Against Crystal Palace, they got a red card as well. Against Aston Villa, they've got a red card as well. So I don't really know what this is going to mean in terms of whether Lamptey is going to be available. I don't think he will be. I'm pretty sure, well, it's a red card. I'm sure it's maybe a 1-game suspension for 2 yellow cards, I think that's right. I don't think it was a straight red. I don't think it's going to be 3 games. But regardless of that, that doesn't really matter for me. Because when I was coming into this preview and thinking about who am I looking at as being a major threat for these guys, or being a major outlet, it was Lamptey. Everything that he did against Aston Villa was just pacey, very quick, technical. His passing ability is very good as well, for a player that not many of us had heard of, maybe even last year. He is a very exciting young talent, and an absolute, Brighton should be commended for picking him up. I think from Chelsea weren't keen on keeping him or anything like that, which maybe they've got a buyback sort of clause or anything like that, because if I'm Chelsea looking at these guys, at Lamptey, I'm like, let's get this guy back. Let's get this guy back, especially when they've bought in Chilwell on the left-hand side. Anyway, I digress. I'm just saying, Lamptey was the man that I was looking at that was going to be the difference maker for these guys. Now, I'm not saying that Brighton won't carry their threats. Danny Welbeck scored in the game against Aston Villa as well, and put him in front of goal. He's quite a clinical striker, so he's going to be difficult to come up against as well. Other players, Maupay can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes. Depends on what sort of mood he seems to be in. And the other player that I look at as well is Yves Bissouma, because he's very physical, very aggressive. He's very good at tackling without picking up yellow cards at the point where you think, whoa, how's that not a yellow card? He's done this like millions. He's very good at doing that, very good at frustrating the opposition with his physicality, with his aggression. And he's very good at, he's just actually quite a very good player. If he keeps his composure a little bit more, he won't get, I think he's been sent off a couple of times over this season. Maybe not over this season and last season is what I meant to say. So if he can ever keep his composure a little bit more, he could end up finding himself at maybe a top 8, top 6 team in the future. But those are the people that I'm looking out for at the moment, is Bissouma in the midfield, Maupay and Welbeck. Lamptey was the other one, but I don't think, from what this says here, he will not be playing. And Lallana is also a big doubt for his reunion with Liverpool. So there's a good chance that Lallana could play, and if he does, he's going to be tricky to come up against. Could be their key provider. But hey, we'll take it as it comes when the game comes tomorrow. Now, if we come to the list that Liverpool players are of the players that Liverpool are missing, Trent, Gomez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, and Van Dijk. Now, for some reason on the SofaScore app, Van Dijk has been moved to a doubtful instead of out. I'm not playing into that one. I don't think he's not going to be featuring anytime soon. Let's be fair. Now, when we come to the starting 11, obviously there were a lot of changes when we played against Atalanta midweek in the Champions League, and it didn't pay off. There were still enough quality players in that team, you know, likes of Mane, likes of Salah and such like that as well, just to name a few. Not picking them out in particular, but I'm just saying there was enough quality in that team to have at least, you know, laid a glove on Atalanta. And the fact that we didn't have any shots on target is beyond me. I can't actually remember the last time that we had a game like that where we haven't landed at least a couple of shots on target. It was very, very out of character performance. There was a lot of tiredness probably involved in it as well. And it doesn't help, obviously, coming off a late Wednesday night kickoff. Yes, it was at Anfield, so at least there hasn't been plane travel or anything like that involved as far as I'm aware, because why would there be? But even so, you've got a late kickoff on a Wednesday and we've got the early kickoff on a Saturday. You kind of see these things are going to come now. Probably a little bit more after Jurgen Klopp's rant that he had after the Leicester win. Like, that was very, very right. I agreed with pretty much everything, if not everything that he said. But he's probably now going to get, you know, in Premier League and that look at fixtures and stuff like that, they're going to be giving him all the fixtures that he doesn't want. So it's just how it is. We've got the early kickoff. We will see how it goes. Now, a lot of people would probably say we don't play all of the front four. I disagree. I think that we need to be going with Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Firmino and Diogo Jota. Jota especially. Jota seems at the moment to be the catalyst for the people around him. He seems to be the guy that is igniting these people, really setting them on fire and getting them moving, making clever runs as well. And whether it's by his own driving runs with the ball or very good runs without the ball, the work that he does off the ball as well, like, I just feel that at the moment Jota is a catalyst for Liverpool, and a very, very good one as well. Really kicks us into gear in attack as well. So I would go with that front four. I think that we need to go out there. Where we are in the table, obviously sitting second, we're tied on points with Tottenham, but obviously goal difference is letting us down. Let's go out there, start all of these guys, and score as many, you know, if we can in the next however many games, try and recover that goal difference that got absolutely smashed against Aston Villa. That is the one thing that will hold us back in terms of a title race this season. Obviously, we're hoping the likes of Tottenham and teams around us drop points as well. It doesn't always look likely with this Tottenham team under Jose Mourinho at the moment. It doesn't look likely that they're going to lose a lot of points since maybe the opening day of the season, and one time, I think, against West Brom where they drew 3-3, something like that anyway. Moving on to the rest of the team, Jordan Henderson is apparently ready to make his comeback in this game, and that's fantastic. Having Jordan Henderson and his level of leadership on the pitch is definitely something that we miss when he's out, when he doesn't play for Liverpool. We really do miss it. And I love having Jordan Henderson on the pitch. If I see Jordan Henderson on the pitch, all of a sudden I just feel that little bit more confident that the communication throughout the entire team is just going to go up that extra level that we sometimes need. In fact, that everybody needs. We sometimes always need that. So that's always a very good thing. Now then, who partners him in midfield? Most likely it could end up being Gini Wijnaldum, but there are other options here. So you could go with Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum as part of the two in front of the defence. But we could also go with Fabinho back into midfield alongside Jordan Henderson. And then the back line looks like this. Andy Robertson at left back. Then we would have Joel Matip at centre back as well. Nathaniel Phillips, or Nat Phillips, however we want to say his name, would be the other centre-back as well. And then it would be James Milner at right-back or Nico Williams. Now, it's probably not going to be Nico Williams because he got given, again, another time when he's maybe not had the best performance of his life and he's been given a great deal of abuse online. It's not clever to abuse a young player like him. He is a very talented young player, but he's a young player regardless. He will learn. He will learn. Let's not get abusive. You don't need to vocalize everything that you might think about someone. Think about things first. This is a young lad. Let's nurture him. Let's help him. Let's support him as we're meant to as supporters. Let's do that. So if it's Nico Williams or it's James Milner at right back, I'm happy with either one. And then it'll be Alisson in goal as well. And with that sort of lineup, we should be looking to attack Brighton heavily. Now, their last lineup actually included them having a 3 at the back. Similar sort of setup to what Atalanta had as well. A 3 at the back, 4 in the midfield, and then you've got some attackers as well. We should be looking to go hammer and tong at Brighton from the get-go, right the way throughout the entire match. Now, I understand that obviously energy levels and stuff like that are not at optimum. You know, they're never going to be at optimum levels this season because of the way this season is going to pan out. I understand that fully. But Liverpool need to go out there and lay a marker down pretty quickly, get shots on target. It's all things that point towards all the good things that we did against Leicester. Loads of shots on target, lots and lots of shots on target. I think we had over 20 shots in general, but like 13 shots on target, and that's great. That's fantastic. That's what you want. And then we go to Atalanta, or Atalanta come to us. We have 4 shots or 5 shots in the whole game, not one single shot on target. That is something that needs to change in this game. The one great thing that I always look at with this Liverpool team and Jurgen Klopp in general is that when a loss happens, there is always a reaction. There's always something that's taken from it. You sometimes learn your greatest, lessons from losses. And that was it wasn't a devastating defeat. We just weren't in the game whatsoever against Atalanta. Liverpool will want to hopefully lay a good couple of gloves on this Brighton team as well. They can be a very frustrating team to play against. Very, very frustrating. They're not like Stoke of like yesteryear in the Premier League. They're not like that, but they defend like that. They defend very, very well. They just got a little bit more of attacking flair these days, especially when they had like the likes of Lamptey in the team as well. They're very good at passing the ball. They're very good at passing, moving, getting some good runs put together as well. They're very good at doing that, as well as being a defensively solid unit as well. So that's something that we need to break down, and hopefully we can do it. I genuinely believe that if we go out with that lineup with the attacking guys, I know people are wary of playing all 4 of those attacking guys, but the more we play them together, the more they will start to have much more chemistry and stuff on the pitch, and they'll start connecting a lot more. We've seen it before, we will see it more and more, and I believe that we can go out there and win the game against Brighton. We need to make sure that whatever we do, it's all about chance creation and getting shots on target. If you're getting the shots on target, you've got a much better chance of the ball going in the back of the net. Let's be honest. It's as simple as that. It really is actually as simple as that. If you get the ball on target, you've got a better chance of actually scoring a goal. So it sounds so simple because it is, but actually executing it in a football match, that's not my area. I'm not a good footballer in real life. I'm really not. Terrible. So that's for these guys. So fingers crossed these guys can do it. We will see what happens anyway. I'm fully aware that I always predict a Liverpool win, and I'm predicting another one here. I think that Liverpool can go out in this game, be very competitive, and be very lethal as well. I genuinely think that we can do it. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Liverpool victory. I think we will want the clean sheet, but more important than that, it's about getting the victory. And however that victory comes about, I genuinely couldn't care less. I don't care if you go out there and you win 5, 6, 7-0, or if you get a 1-0. At the end of the day, you get the same amount of points. The more goals we get, hey, it puts us in better stead in terms of goal difference. but picking up the 3 points is the most important thing that Liverpool can do. I'm going for 2-0. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think this game's going to go down tomorrow? 12:30 kickoff, early kickoff of the weekend. Hopefully we can, start the weekend bright and we can just enjoy the rest of it. But hey, we will see what happens come tomorrow. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend and I will catch you later.